Hello and welcome to Misaal. My name is Zahed and I'm your host. On this podcast, I talk candidly with the most innovative minds working towards building a better startup economy in Pakistan. In this episode of the Misaal podcast, I invite you to listen in on my conversation with Usama Khalid. He's an indie hacker and the creator of ContentDrips.com, an online brand building tool for freelancers and entrepreneurs. Also, he builds in public, which means he shares his wins, fails, and metrics with everyone on social media. We talk about how he got into building SaaS products, why he likes building in public, and how it's gotten him both investors and customers, his experience building and running a SaaS product from Pakistan, and his future plans. Thank you, Osama, for being on the Misal podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just woke up. I woke up very late, like 11 or 12, I guess. So
Okay. So do you have to physically go into work or do you just work from home?
I work from home, but now I just
Okay.
applied for a incubator. So I will have a
Okay.
workspace there.
Okay. Which incubator?
It's NIC Karachi. So I hope I get
NIC
selected.
Karachi.
Yeah.
Okay. So does NIC Karachi offer investment in companies, or it's just space?
They don't like invest themselves, but they let you connect with other investors or mentors, which like might gives you some interest to like actual investors. So they just give
Okay.
access to a workspace mostly.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your background. Like, how did you end up what you're doing right now? How did you end up into it? Like coding, front end, like you said, you do front end, and how did you end up there? You're quite young, and is this like your first thing? Have you done some things in the past? Like, tell me more about it.
Sure. So I started my journey with like when I was 13. So I used to uh, go on the internet like every kid. I used to search like how to make money on internet. So I got through
Okay.
like websites like paid to click website which lets you like click on the ads and you get like a small cent of money from it. So that's how it started. Then
Yeah.
I built like some websites. So I used to go on there a website called codecanyon.com, which is still like available.
Okay.
So it's where you can get the website scripts and all sort of like
Code
yeah.
Canyon. Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get like templates for it and the website code. So I used to like buy a code, and then I used to like make it look pretty, like make it look much better, like using HTML, CSS, which I like learned from I think YouTube or just from Google searches. So I got pretty good
Okay.
at designing the website. So I thought, why not? I should like sell these websites. So I started selling them. Like,
Okay.
so I got like some like good amount of money from it, and so by I think by default my design skills are like really good. I'm like happy with myself. So in the part time, like I used to like get freelance gigs for graphic design, logos, banners, and stuff. So
Okay.
that's how like service business or the service business side of started. Then I like went to do affiliate marketing. So I tried so many things, and then I went to affiliate marketing and like did some really good work with Chinese store. So I have like $60,000 of sales from my affiliate links so far with that. So after that I
Okay.
said like it's not enough, it's drying up. Like after some time, like it everything like goes to like fade away. So I closed that down, and then I like started drop shipping. So it was really hot at
Okay.
that moment, so I made a really good money with that as well. Like in the first year of the e-commerce store which I did, I made like $20,000 of sales from it by just one product, which was a really
Okay.
good product for me. Again, it like after some time your things starts going down. Like sales were drying up, like no customers were coming up on the store. So I thought like I should like close it. Like it's not worth it for my time. So I like closed my store, and then I uh, went into a SaaS business. I went on Twitter. I went on Product Hunt. So I get like-minded people from there. Like I see them, what are they doing? Like they're making this software thing, and they just code it once, and then the subscriptions comes in every month from customers. So it really fascinated me, like this,
Yes.
how this whole things works. So I built my first product, shoppables.co, which was a SaaS product, which lets you like place shoppable tags on the images. So just like you have on
Mhm.
Instagram, there are shoppable tags. I tried to do it on the website, on the web. So it got pretty good like response on the launch. I got number one product of the day on Product Hunt, but it didn't
Okay.
make any money from it. I made $0 from it,
Yes.
but people were thinking he is doing
Yes.
so awesome, he's doing so great. So then I like pitched shoppables to like one marketing guy in Pakistan. So
Okay.
I just wanted to have his feedback on the tool. So he like he liked the
Okay.
tool, and then he like invited me to join his team. He said like, join me, like I will acquire your product and this and that. So I said yes, sure, why not? So I worked there for a
Okay.
year with them. Like we tried to build the product out of it, like a better version of it. But
Okay.
some bad things started happening with that company and like with the job. So
Okay. Okay.
it was really like,
So you moved on and you went on to something else.
yeah, when I joined there, I started content riffs as a side project for me.
Okay. Content rips.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
was previously named as code photos, like code pic. Yeah, there was just one tool on there. So I started it as a side project.
Yeah.
Then at some point, I decided why not I should quit this job and go full time on content riffs. So
Okay.
after
So can you explain what content drips does?
Okay, so it's a content creation tool built for personal brands. It's just like a Canva, but specifically niche to the like LinkedIn audience, for creators, for founders, for marketers who want to like grow their personal brand, not their business or anything. Just like
Okay.
step up their Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn. So it's
Okay.
like Canva, but for personal brand, I would say.
So it's a SaaS product, and like, are you like are you at a stage where like you are consistently? I know it was like number three on the product hunt. You launched at a product hunt. Like, did that result in any sales?
Yeah, content did like brought some customers within the first week from Product Hunt. So it was like
Okay.
really good experience for me.
So are you like, did you build, or do you have other people working with you on content drips, or just you, or how does that work?
Okay, in the beginning, I tried to do everything by myself. Like I
Okay.
used to like design the website, but I have a developer like who coded the website, but I just did the front end, like all the like features, like uh, this should be there and this button should be this color. So everything like I came up with the ideas for it, but he coded it. But now I have a small team. I have a content writer which is doing really amazing job. Like she used to like write blogs, but now she does everything for me. Like it's really good to have her on my side. So I have like three people right
Okay.
now. One is a developer, and two is in like marketing and content.
Okay, so you basically are focusing your time right now on content drips, and you probably want to like expand it in the sense that like you have to, keep making money as well as like keep hiring people to make the product better. So what kind of like, so how did you learn to code? Like, was it like all self-taught, or did you like, take classes? Like, how did you go about doing that?
Okay, so I have some friends like who used to like code, like the real coding guys. So I used to like sit with them and like see their stuff and how they are doing. So I think one
Okay.
from there, and then from like just YouTube, and just by watching other people build website, seeing their codes, going on to like Stack Overflow, W3 School. So I think from these two
Okay.
sources I learned to code a bit.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good stuff, because you're when I look at your website, and I've been following you for quite some time. Like your content, your your delivery, your I mean, quality of the the app that you've created. It's all like it's really good. And I also know like I would call you as like an indie hacker. Like you are the kind of person who's like an indie hacker. Like you are a solo artist, and so that's what I would call you. So I know like there was a point where maybe it was a couple years ago. There was this thing on Twitter and on like the social web where basically indie hackers were building in public, where they were sharing every single thing. So that's how I learned about you, and that's how I've been following you, because I don't see that many Pakistanis. Actually, I don't know if anyone else. I think maybe one or two people are doing it. You are one of them. So do you think this is like a trend in Pakistan? Like most people don't know about it, or like anyone is trying it, or who are your, like, you would say, people who you think are doing the same thing as you?
Okay, so that's a really nice question. Like, how many people build
Yeah.
in public in Pakistan? So,
Mhm.
so I think community here is really small. There are a few people like which I know personally, which
Okay.
do like build in public. I think Fatma from Air School, like she like does it on. She does this thing where she like share everything about their uh, company on how she is building. So maybe I should like explain like what is build in public to the Pakistani audience if someone is listening.
Sure, sure. Yeah, please explain.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah.
it's like you got an idea for your product, and then you like go on social media and you write about it. You start writing about it like, hey, I got this idea, I will build this in this much time, this will be my technology, this will be my marketing strategy. So I will like share my progress of building this whole product. So that's how you share everything in public, like what's the progress of the first week, like you launched, like share the launch stats with the users. So everything goes public, even your revenue and like your churn, your like cancel rate, your refunds. So everything you like try to like share it in public, and it's really amazing if you are doing that. I would say I would highly recommend everyone to like build in public, because it will land you so many opportunities which you can't like imagine. So it helps you grow your personal brand and also your business as well. Also, I got like so many requests or investment offers just from building in public. They see my work and they DM me like, hey, we saw your product, this and that, if you like, happy to jump on a call with us. So also you get to hire new people as well, investors, your personal growth, your business growth. So it's really amazing thing, like if you like prefer to like build in public.
That's also my understanding of building in public. But building in public is now like seen as more like a marketing gimmick
Hmm.
than it is like actually building, because initially like people were actually sharing like the stuff like you did initially, and you still do. But a lot of people now I see on Twitter especially, they're just they're trying to get customers, so they're just doing it for the wrong reasons. So I think it's very easy to tell, right? The people who are actually doing it for, like, while they build a product, they're serious about it, and the people who are just doing it for the heck of it. So, so the I like on all the best to you doing it. Keep doing it, because I think it's a very good thing, and a lot of people need to learn about it. And since you are in Pakistan and you're doing it, so you show people that, hey, I am in Pakistan and I can still do this. Because I feel like, for example, you're on your website on Content Drips. I saw that it's a SaaS product. You take payments and all that stuff. It's very difficult for SaaS products in Pakistan, especially, to have like a subscription revenue and like incorporate a payment channel. So how did you go about setting that up, like setting up the payment channel and making sure like uh, you know you don't have like issues in terms of, because if I am like stumbling on your website, like I don't know if you're in Pakistan or what country you're in. Like I just want to make a purchase, so I should not be thinking about like, hey, is my card going to go through or not? It should be like the easiest thing in the world to do, like to make it easy for the customer, for the user to pay you. How did you go about doing that, and how successful have you been so far in terms of like implementing a payment processing, subscription based payment processing?
Yeah, sure. Within the Pakistan, you don't have any options to like integrate a solution which lets you like accept subscription payments. So I tried my best to find it. If someone knows and watching this podcast, he or she can tell me. So I use pedal.com, which is I think UK based company, which lets you like
Okay.
accept
Yeah.
payments from worldwide. You can accept credit card, PayPal, and I think there are some other options as well. So it will work for Pakistan. You have two options right now. You have Stripe or Pedal, and there is some other as well, but
Okay.
they like charge subscription fees from you for every month. But Pedal
Okay.
charge based on the transaction.
Okay.
So Pedal.com is the payment integration which I use on my website, and the payment
Okay. So
they're
it
directly wired to your bank account on 15th.
okay. So it's not a problem to open up, a paddle account from Pakistan. They send you the money and
Yeah,
it's all good.
but they will only let
Okay.
you like if you have a SaaS product, they will only accept that product or any software based product you can accept use Pedal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, Stripe is like, of course, like the default. Everyone goes with Stripe, and I mean, I know it's not something that's available in Pakistan, but yeah, that would be something like it would be a great thing if it actually eventually it comes to Pakistan, and anyone can plug it in and start a SaaS business. So that's great. That's great. So where do you see, like, so you said you will be joining NIC Karachi. So where do you see content drips going in the future? Like, what are your plans?
Okay, that's a really tough question, I guess. So, I think I made some mistakes when like launching content drips. So, like every first or second SaaS product you make, you will make mistakes. But now, after like 9 months of going full time on it, I realized that I made a terrible mistake of making three different tools on content divs. There should be one tool which lets you like play with everything on the like the one page to get the whole value out of the tool. So with content divs, I'm like in the January, I'm trying to like build a version 2 of it, which will like much better and faster, and also using the modern technology. Because the first time I did, I just scrapped everything together, like just to make it work, and somehow it's working still. So I will like I'm currently like working on content is 2.0. With that, I am like expecting to reach 10K MRR by the end of next year, I presume. So
Okay.
that's the plan so far. Rebuild and like
Okay.
rebuild and optimize like my conversion rates, because I have so many users, but they are not converting for some reason. So I want to convert them as well.
Okay. Okay. So when it comes to SaaS products, how do you decide on pricing? Because pricing is like a big deal, right? Like some people, of course, people will compare you to other tools. And so how do you figure out the pricing, like what to charge based on like, what you're offering?
Yeah, there is a saying in like SaaS world, there is no perfect pricing. It's really hard to like decide a final pricing for your product. So what I did, so
Okay.
if I think like if your product is unique and you know your audience really well, then you can decide and
Mhm.
charge anything from your customers. So with content divs, I recently launched another tool in it, which is postdrifts.com, which is a simple LinkedIn scheduling tool
Mhm.
built for like every LinkedIn person. So I know the LinkedIn people, the founders, CEOs, marketers, they are doing so well, like financially, so they can pay anything for the tool. I just need to make a different experience for them, which I did. So I like
Mhm.
shrink down the whole scheduling tool into a one page app, so everything happens on one page. So with that I found out like users are paying me money, even I charge so much higher than a regular scheduling tool, even Buffer or even like Social Champ or Social Boo or every other tool. Like I charge way a lot, and I give less features. I just give them LinkedIn, but other tools are giving them Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. So if your product is unique, they can pay anything, and if you know your audience, yeah, you can charge any amount you want to.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So you mentioned Social Champ. So I mean he's also I can't I, right now I can't recall his name,
Samir,
but he's also based in
yeah,
Karachi. Samir, correct. Yes. So he's also based in Karachi. Are you like friends? Do you talk? Have you talked with him about your product?
I talked with him like many months ago on Instagram through
Okay.
DMs. So he was like asking for a integration of content base with Social Jam, but at that time I didn't have any like plans for it, and also like the technology constraints of it. So we
Okay.
we kind of not talk a lot on LinkedIn or Twitter, or but I would love to like
Okay. Okay. So is it still around? Like Social Champ is still around? Like people.
yeah.
I mean, it's still around. As in, like he still running it full
Yeah,
time?
he's running it full time. I think he's doing great. Like he raised some funding as well. So
Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I was not aware about the funding. Okay, okay. So, since you mentioned funding, like, this is a good segue. So, have you had like Pakistani VCs or anyone, any other VCs, like, approach you and say, hey, we want to fund you and things like that? Has that happened?
okay, there are two stories in it. So one is very funny,
Okay,
and other one is serious. So let's
okay,
start with the serious one.
okay,
So so
okay,
yeah, when you build in public, you will get lots of like investment offers around the world. So I like got many for the content is from someone in UK. There are there are twice in UK and like one in Singapore. So there are like uh, they keep telling me, hey, if you wanna raise some money, just uh, count us first, like keep us in the first list. So I
okay.
currently don't have plan to raise any because I don't need to. That's one thing
Okay,
about
yes.
Pakistan. If you're running a SaaS business in Pakistan, it's really a huge opportunity for you. Like it's a big opportunity for you. um, yeah,
Yeah.
and so I have been getting offers in the past, but when I need it, I will like look through them, and I will like have a call with them, and then I might take it. So let's go to the funny part. You said
Okay,
about Pakistani investors, right?
okay.
So whenever
Yes.
my LinkedIn post or any post gets viral, so I get DMs like, hey, I saw your product, we would like to invest in it. This is their first DM they sent me. And if I
Okay,
don't reply back, like they will like another write another long message. And there was one guy who said, I just sent my team to you, they will contact you and they will acquire your product. So
okay.
no one contacted from his team. So it's really funny, you get so many offers like that. So the first message, hey, I want to invest in your company, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I like, I don't know if you know about this, but like maybe a year ago, year and a half ago, I launched something like it was just a side project thing. It was called Miracle. It was about newsletters. It's like Reddit for newsletter posts. And I posted that, and I started like I wouldn't say I was building in public, but I just shared like a lot of things like users and all those things. And I started getting DMs too, and I was like really surprised. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. These guys are, and there was like one call that I took, and those guy was a complete waste of time. But he like was so serious. He's like, oh, I will either invest or I will like buy your product. And I'm like, okay, let me just talk to him, because you never know, right? Like, I could have easily made a couple of $1,000 getting rid of the product. So why not, right? So I spoke to him, and it did not turn out into anything. But yeah, I mean, the internet is like a crazy place. A lot of things, good things, bad things happen. But always, always look into your DMs and always make sure you're like, taking it seriously, because you
Yeah,
never know.
with DMs, I would like to share the story. So I do random projects with strangers as well. Like on the Twitter, I find like people, and we start projects with random people on internet. So I
Okay.
started a new side project, so which is called voicecell.com, which is essentially you are putting
Okay.
voice notes on the websites anywhere. So just like you can add videos on the
Okay.
website, you can put your voice as well. So it started really in a mysterious way, I would say. So I was on Fiverr. I was searching for someone who can do videos for content ifs. So I came across this woman, and she said, "Yes, I can do it." The videos part of content ifs. So so we chatted, and somehow like I decided not to go with her because obviously she is in Europe. Like she charged a very high amount for me. So I said no, okay. But she
Yes.
kept asking me like, how you started this content devs thing, how is it going? So we connected on LinkedIn. So we started chatting about it, like this whole build in public and SaaS thing. So and then she offered me like, hey, I'm building this product. Why not we should like build a product together? So she offered like her product. It was an app idea, but I said to her, this is like too big a project for a side project. So why not you should join my side project, which is the voice cell. So that's how I started a project with a random stranger on internet. So she is in Germany, like she used to like do this Figma stuff, like really good in design. So uh, that's how I got a co-founder on through Fiverr, and we are building this really cool
Okay.
product. And now let's come to the DMs. So there was one guy from Germany who sent me a. This is all happening because of build in public thing. So he saw my
Right,
post on
right.
Twitter,
Yeah.
like I used to like post about content base. So he messaged me a cold DM. Hey Osama, I have been following your journey for some time. This looks really interesting. If you have any project for me, like we can do it together. This is my tech stack. This is a perfect message if you want, like if you want to pitch to someone. So he gave his introduction. He shared his tech stacks like below, and link to his website as well, where I can see his portfolio. So he just DM'd me like a year ago. So we started building another SaaS product with him. Because why not?
Okay. So yeah, you
Yeah, because why not?
because why not? Yeah, right. That's right. I mean, so I was reading on your website, like, so you're 23 years old, or is that
Yeah, I
old?
just turned 24. Like,
24. Okay. So I mean, still very young, very, very young. So yeah, I mean, so as many projects you can take is like, it's there's nothing,
yeah,
there's no wrong projects right now, like, if you know what I mean. So you can try out as much as you want. You have like few years until you settle down to do one thing. Thank you for being on the Misal
thank you
podcast.
for having me.
It was really, really like nice. Sure, sure. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we'll definitely connect soon. And yeah, thank you so much for being on the Misal
Thank
podcast.
you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for listening to the Misal podcast. I hope you enjoyed the podcast and will thank me by writing a review or sharing it on social media. Make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks again. See you soon.